Now, last year saw the highest number of reported kidnappings in 5 years. 2,605 cases were reported in the last quarter of 2021. So what's behind this crime trend? Let's unpack it with Herman Bosman, who is the Kidnapping Incident Manager at TSU International. Herman, thanks so much for speaking to us. Last year, we saw more and more cases of kidnappings emerge in the media because of the issues raised, on the public platform. Why are we seeing a sudden spike, or has there always been a large number of kidnappings, but it's only coming to light now?
Good evening to you and the viewers. Well, it has grown over the past decade on a continuous basis, and the percentages obviously also increased month on month and, as I said, over the past couple of years. So although we've always had it, and it's been there, and we've worked all these cases over all the years, it's definitely grown in numbers and also sophistication and integration with criminal syndicates, networking and profitizing on innocent people in South Africa. So the syndicates definitely saw a gap in the market, definitely the habitat is here, and it works for them. The environment suits them. And definitely, because of that reason, it is a growing concern that we need to address with seriousness. I know there's a lot of attempts being made by various organizations, and also the South African Police Service has done sterling work in many cases, but we need to do more. We really need to address this to prevent it getting out of hand. We've had a lot of cases the last couple of weeks again, where people were targeted, innocent people going jogging and just going on their daily activities.
And talk to me about ransom, which is obviously something that kidnappers want in order to release their victims, etc. Are we seeing more and more of that in South Africa in specific areas and specific business people being targeted?
Well, these groups do proper research. They target their victims carefully. And by the time that they actually execute their duties or their operation, they know who to target and more or less cash availability and funds availability, and manage to obtain those. So it has grown. If you look at kidnappings, there's various types of kidnappings. So not all kidnappings are a danger to everybody. But for sure, those that is a concern to me in every day of spectrum life individual going with his daily business, there's a spike in that and an increase definitely in also copycat type of kidnappings that has grown substantially.
And what do you do in that instant? Because, the advice is not to pay a ransom, contact police, etc. But are police actually capable of recovering kidnapped victims? Do they have the intelligence needed?
Well, they certainly do have correct procedures in place, but I do, from my side, feel we need to grow that. We need to go and look at the current demand and number of kidnappings that we're having. And to have one or two task teams in one or two provinces is not going to do this. We need to build and grow this. And I've said on previous occasions, this is not a typical South African crime. But it has become such a big problem that we must go back to the drawing board and establish a proper investigative system, prosecution system as well. It is not only the police that must address this. There is a lot of corruption. There's a lot of incompetence as far as addressing this and the seriousness when we look at this. Because you cannot manage a kidnapping incident the same as you manage a theft or another crime that is lapsed. It is an ongoing crime from the moment the person is taken until the person is recovered, and also then thereafter. And that whole procedure and the way that at the end of the day, people go and testify in court, and the whole process pertaining to that needs to be looked at. Are people willing to go and testify? How are we going to prosecute an incident like this? How are we going to investigate an incident like this real time? The timelines in the way we investigate it are just too narrow. It's too quick. And we must look in a different manner at this also when we look at legislation addressing this.
Okay, thank you so much for your time and your insight. Really do appreciate it. That was Herman Bosman from TSU International.